Each job is difficult till you learn and practice.
Almost 1300 people you handle, and almost millions of production of vaccines you are managing.
Tendulkar is a god of cricket. It's not because you made thousands of runs, it's because he practiced well. He practiced to the level where he can perform and make thousands of runs.
Cost is a big trouble. Before, like a few years ago, Indian manpower or resource cost was low, so we used to have a good advantage over other countries.
Process, it starts at one place, it ends at the other place. Even any journey from one city to other city. But while driving, what you concentrate is the moment where you are driving.
But today that advantage has started vanishing. How I heard that you are one of the expert in this domain. So I wanted to understand about your philosophy. How you can do it. Some conversation change how you see Vaishnav. They remind you that real influence doesn't always come with the loud words. Sometimes it comes with the silent strength. Today, on Voiceless of Pharma, I honored to share such a conversation with Mr. Rakesh Kumar Sinha, Vice President and Head of Drug Product Manufacturing at Biological Elite. In our discussion, we didn't just talk about manufacturing vaccines or ensuring plant quality. We explored something deeper. How do you create a culture of excellence without force, without fear? How do you inspire people to do their best work? Not because they have to, but because they believe in it. Mr. Sinha's story is a masterclass in a quiet leadership. A leadership style built on trust, discipline, and simplicity. Yet, delivering extraordinary results at some of the top pharma companies. He also shared with me practical insights on how he makes sure the plant operates at the highest standards day and day out. This conversation stayed with me long after it ended, and I believe as you listen today, it will with you too. Let's step into this journey of simplicity, brilliance, and a true leadership with none other than Mr. Rakesh Kumar Sinha. Mr. Rakesh Kumar Sinha, welcome sir to the show.
Ah, very nice meeting you, and let me have the pleasure to shake hand in.
Certainly, sir. It's my pleasure. I think we had a really good talk before this podcast, and I really came to know about so much of wisdom you are having. So I'm very excited for this. So let's start with I think you have 30 plus years of experience in manufacturing of various different kind of products, right? And today you are responsible for such a big plant, almost 1300 people you handle, and almost millions of production of vaccines you are managing. How it sounds like for you?
It sounds like a big journey, and the journey continues. Uh, it looks like we started yesterday. It's still going on. The miles to cover, but it at the end it gives me a lot of pleasure to make vaccine available for the masses. It's a preventive medicine. It prevents even the kids, the small kids, from getting diseases, and that's the healthy part. But at the other way, it takes to a lot of excellence, lot of care, because a newborn baby will get this vaccine. So a lot of care has to be taken while producing a vaccine, and we are into the journey of that, servicing millions of the people.
So you get a peaceful sleep every day.
Yeah, this happens because uh, the organizations where I have worked, they are quality conscious. The efforts are that even if we have to destroy a million of doses, not even a single dose which is not meeting the standard, not conforming to the quality specification goes to the market. And it's the journey which keeps pharma segment or the vaccine segment in India growing. That is what where it is the customer satisfaction.
So, do you remember any of such incidents where you really need to roll back or you need to destroy such a large quantity of production? Are such a case?
During my journey, destruction of a large quantity will happen. A couple of the batch could be yes, but there was one very tense situation where we were evaluating the things, and somehow because of error in testing, again the data which is not meeting the specification, and that led to a whole set of big investigations, finding the root cause, production start. Everybody is looking how it can go about when we followed the process, and finally we find the one of the reason is not doing the right way going forward in the testing.
Okay.
And finally we could able to do it, but it's the journey which took about 3 months to arrive at, and then the production is kept on a hold for a little longer time. The batches hold for the longer time. So the ready to dispatch batches with a reagent not performing properly is being hold, and it has tested again, proven to the quality, and then only released to the market. So that kind of
How was that like situation that
the situation was very early in the career when about I have 10 years of experience at that time.
okay?
Uh, the situation was that the only one thing in mind that at least it has not released to the market. So there's very disaster. Yeah, there is no danger to the any one of the people. Trusting. Correct. And then second, any productive organization. We are trying to do a good work.
Yeah.
And cost is also involved. Correct. But quality is utmost.
But keeping a plant hold for production for 3 months, 6 months, 5 months times.
So very competitive. That's the case be. But I really appreciate the management where they took that kind of call. That the basic quality, product quality has to be utmost. While all the indications, because we get a data up during throughout the batch processing, all the data is getting captured. So all the data were giving a good signal that everything is being followed. There was a lot of hue and cry and discussions that where we follow the same system, same process, same path, and it meets the specification, conform to the specification, then why not this batch where everything is the same?
Right.
So that was giving the people some sort of understanding that things has gone right. The products is good, but yes, there is a doubt. There is a some test is not meeting the specification. So let's evaluate, find out the real root cause, and it found to be a region not providing the right result at the end.
Wonderful. I think this experience build a person. So I think this is very much important.
It's a very I was tense during this period is not for me, it's for my team, because team every day used to come in front of you and ask what to do, how to do, and what to investigate,
Exactly.
where it has gone wrong.
Exactly.
So the minds 24/7 used to keep thinking, oh, we are not going to find something is wrong, but what is not? So every each and every data is being reviewed again and again and again, multiple reviews. Even the external consultant came into the picture. They also find something that no, everything has been as per the process, as per the design process, but still it is failed. How? So 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 further detailing has happened right now, but that is the way we have to deal with any of the non-conformance, whether it is a confirmed or unconfirmed. Unless you confirm, you can't take decision for a batches release.
Wonderful. So let's go back to the 30 years before, like when you started your career. So I would really like to understand like how you started, how you came to the manufacturing domain.
Actually, the journey starts a little early. It's that when I was doing my intermediates, +2, the aspirations was to become an engineer.
Okay.
And we were big goals.
Yeah.
And you feel skies, you can achieve the heights, you can reach to the sky. Everything is in your favor.
Right.
And then you start getting into a competition, writing the interest test, which is IIT JEE. That there you face the competition, the first little realization of yourself and surrounding. I was fortunate to get through, and though my ranks was not very high, but it was good enough to get us admission to the IIT. Little bit of choice difference because again we were learning the branches and other things. And one of the advice I followed, and then I opted for the pharmaceutical engineering. That was the and then that's why I landed up in the pharmacy domain, and that from IIT, when I was from IIT pharmacy, and then it became the life. The study was
So you never planned to get into pharmacy. It was accident.
I was not knowing much about the pharma. But the only thing engineering, and and not even much about the branches. It's a later on only the eye started opening once you get into the IIT. Oh, this guy is studying electronics. Oh, this guy is studying the mechanical, and that the future career. Somebody will be telling you that you are going to be great. This branch is good. Computer was that day was a fascination. So the people who has got high talent, high ranking, they got the computers. And that's what we are talking in 1990s, 1980s. It's 1999, 89. Okay. So that days, the computers was the new, like today we talk about chat, GPT or AI. So those days it was the computers. Yeah. So that was the things. But it's a good understanding when we lived into the same hostel, side by side the other engineers or the computer engineers studying and everything. Uh, it was a wonderful experience. And this is the reason why I got into the pharmaceutical manufacturing. Getting into the job, I thought that, okay, there are a lot of studies we have to do. And now we are getting into the job, a lot of money, a lot of things, independence, and nothing is going to be bothering us. Hey, it's a different world. What we study, that's the basic. A learning continues. So this is the way I came in the beginning. But I have been fortunate that I started from the basics. My first job was in Nicholas Biramal and Bitapur, the fantastic the facility using the latest technology. Has got a lot of operational excellence activities when you look back. We quite operational excellence now, but those things were being there even that time, 1993. I remember 10th February 1993 was my first day, and that was the day of annual day of that plant, and our promoter Adiyati Raman was also there. So seeing such a great entrepreneur being there in person, uh, that was quite.
How today how it feels like when you remember that day in June 1993.
It feels like something that a stepping stone in the right direction when I look back. I learned a lot as a trainee there. Uh, the money was meager. I used to ask my father, send me some more money. And he said that what kind of job you are doing if you don't have money. Pharma then never used to be the money. Pharma has started, or the farmers or vaccine manufacturing has started giving you money post 2002 when the India became secretary to now WTO, and that time the general agreement and tariff history. So thereafter, the salaries and other things in the pharma industry starts growing because they had an opportunity to sell their products in US, Europe, and the businesses started growing. The industry started growing. But till then it was quite challenging uh, things. But there was one very comfortable things we used to see. All environments are controlled with a central AC, HVAC. So that was also a big job at the day one or day two where at homes you don't have the AC and other things. And some of my colleague who's maybe the mechanical engineer working in an or place or workshop, and we are fully air conditioned. We used to call air conditioned, but actually it is the heating and ventilation. So it has got both HVAC, I call it, heating and ventilation air conditioning systems. So that gives a lot of comfort to the your physical for kind of situation.
Right. But sir, here, like people still today also, when a person gets graduated from IIT, their doors for US, Europe opens up. You never thought of going to US?
It depends upon uh, the way you look, you plan your future. I am a small village guy. And coming to such a the Varanasi with a 20,000 people living in one campus are the first exposure.
Okay.
Seeing what always measuring, oh, this guy is what better and I am not that. I have to catch up with them. Oh, this idea is good. Also, this idea had two or another idea. So that way it has come. Many of the people I was that they are in my classmates are in US. They are still in US. They are working US in US. But there was other people who are also my superiors. They're working in industry, and they have been our role model. So you say that it's a 50-50. I did plan to go to US because I was not much aware about how to go about it. And by the time I come to know about the GRE and other things, it's a very short time to prepare and qualify for. And that is the condition where it did not lead to. Thereafter, I got many chances to go abroad. But because of the challenging situations, because of some sort of things started building up, you starts loving your the country, you starts being a little bit comfortable for the country. You starts feeling that country has given you so much. You starts try to give back to the country. That kind of situation you starts getting into. Because once you achieve little bit or something, then you have a tendency to give it back. And that's for work. I have been abroad for 5 years with my second company, Dabur. That's where I worked post completion of training in Nicholas. I moved to Dabur. And through Dabur, I worked across. I have been to Egypt. I have been to Dubai. I have been to various locations within India. And
All are in manufacturing.
all in manufacturing. Erecting a plant in Sahara Desert.
Oh man.
You can imagine how the challenging it could be.
What was the temperature that day?
It's 54, 55, quite normal there within the Sahara Desert. But if you are under the shade, a Sahara Desert is still very cold. 5 degree. The temperature difference could be as long as 5 degree. 3 degree is a umpete. So I erected a facility for Dabur, commissioned that facility and commercialized in the midst of Sahara Desert, which they call it industrial area 10th of Ramana. It's about 58 odd kilometers from Cairo.
Right.
So job took it for all the place.
Yeah.
But finally when I got married, when I was in Egypt, and my better half came there, and 1 year we were together. I then said, this is not the life it is to be. So let's go back to India. And by the time I have my first son, and my first son is a dance, this was a child. And then that's also we needed a family support. So the two things is there, we were thinking that to have a life which is Indian life, because we were in crossroads.
Yeah.
Either we can get into a westernized life, or we can be in our own life journey. And second thing is that the mice, the first son was the Down special. He needs more attention, and that's where uh, the decision has been taken to come back to India and then they do the things. And really, that's I say that he's a lovely child. He's 24 years old now, and he's a self-driven child.
Wonderful.
So the good part is that sometimes you may be rash, but my first child made me a little polite, little more understanding, little more humane. So my dealings with my colleague became much better.
That was actually my next question. You handle 1300 employees. How you keep cool? Because my team size is around 120 and most of them are engineers. All are good educated people and everything is there. My fuse gets off most of the time. You keep calm and 1300 employees managing them.
It's a basically not all 1300 is meeting me every day. It's basically the few of you meet, few of the people day. So you keep it as you're meeting the people to that time. The mostly is that what are the challenges in manufacturing? Is the delivery, is the quality. It had process is needed to be followed day in day out. So if you are able to set your process, which is perfect,
Right.
with little variation,
Correct.
more robust, it means you can predict your outcome.
Correct.
And once you start predicting your outcome, in, in every day, this is what going to happen. This is what going to be the output.
I don't you think that is the most difficult job?
This is basically yes. Uh, we can look at it in a two way.
Yeah.
Each job is difficult till you learn and practice. How much you practice, this starts becoming much better. Tendulkar is a god of cricket. It's not because, in my view, it's not because you made thousands of runs. Because he practiced well. He practiced to the level where he can perform and make thousands of runs. So that is the little learning is there. You have to take things that manner. And if you start thinking it, of course, my superiors, some of my superiors, they're very handful. Uh, uh, they taught me, but never scolded.
Okay. Is it possible to do that?
Uh, I can say couple of people they handled like that. I'm not taking their name because one may get happy about it, another may get something like that. But at the same time, I have been fortunate, and then those people who have the people who really start building the how you can be focused, and the best thing what they taught process it starts at one place, it ends at the other place. Even any journey from one city to other city. But while driving, what you concentrate is the moment where you are driving.
Exactly.
Is a patch where you are driving.
Absolutely.
It's not being in present, being in present. So, of course, initially it never used to be. Initially used to be, and I said, uh, uh, shelter behind sorry. And one day, till the day, I heard from my one of my colleague that I don't have a lorry to carry your sorry.
Okay.
And that was the end. And then we thought about a lot
Hmm.
on the sorry part because
I'm sure digesting.
because you used to tell something in a reaction, but later on you think no I didn't behave well. Yeah, and then I used to go and try to hug the guy and say sorry.
Yeah.
But somehow people started thinking, my colleagues started it is becoming a routine. He reacts, he says sorry, and then he haps, and then he say everything neutral. But actually, it is not hap. This neutrality is not there. You acknowledge your a error, but you never corrected it. The correction part started beginning from, I listen, I don't have a lorry to carry your sorry. So mostly, if something is not right, first take it. And sometimes people say you don't even say anything you know about this thing happened. For 2 days, you did not talk about it. You're talking so many other things. I said, let's first, what things are going correct. Let's continue that. This is there. It is a problem. We will solve it. But sometimes I'm late also because sometimes people wants immediate. So I am some sort of not an immediate guy, but
So basically, you convert your reaction to response.
response. And also it gives me a little time. Okay, this happened. What it has happened. For the sake of just for the discussion, uh, we want to deliver a right dose to the patient. It means dose we do it in terms of fill volume. Now, if a fill volume is there in your one batch, this is going to be rejected. Of course, patient is safe, company lost the money. But if you just react to someone, say that from next time it should not happen, it may happen again. But if you get into the like, look what has happened, it is not desired one. Why it has happened? Learn more. A term used in the a methodology in TQM is below. Day operator's life. Or days, you can, I'm talking about says the activity of fill volume or the production done by your operator, but it can be used at any place. Now, what happened? You just have to see that, okay, he came, he went to the workplace, he set up the machine, he set up the fill volume, and then there is a fill volume variation, which is the result we identify. But at the same time, why it has happened? What did you do? If you start going into further details and details, so you will able to find out where we have held together, not wanting a figure of him, saying that yes, if we have been taught, if we have been trained, my training is not sufficient. Or if it occurs again, it means this methodology of correcting is not working. Look at something else. Because we have to eliminate the cause. Definitely, if it will get eliminated.
But do you really have that error of margin there? Because you are really playing with the.
That's why before the start any production line, a huge number of activity takes place. In a summary, we call it the installation, commissioning, qualification. But in terms of activity wise, if you go detail, it's a huge one. And every the injection, every vaccine, once you make it, it goes for the clinical trial, right? So the efficacy is being tested. The quality is already being tested in your lab. The other various parameters, the indicators, you have already got it before getting into the clinical trial and it's tested. It means versus tested and found to be good. That means all the systems which you have developed is in a validated state, in a sustainable state. And then only the commercial manufacturing starts where the basics come to the picture. Before that, you do the some drugs goes for the animal testing, some drug goes for the different kind of testing, but the n number of activities you need to complete, make it sure, robust, and then only get into a commercial production. So lot many things happens before. Yeah.
So when you were talking about human control or emotion control, I was just relating it with my organization. So I'm not running of those pharma manufacturing company, but it's a software marketing kind of people. I think the problem statements remain same, and I think I really need to learn a lot from this conversation. Also, it's learning for me also. Okay, how you convert your reaction to response? It's really wonderful.
Uh, it's 10 years journey across. It doesn't happen. Yes, when I started, it started reducing it. The elimination came very, very late. The one day
But does it happen today also? Like sometime you lose your temper.
I call in last 26 months, maybe 2 times.
How do you keep a track of it?
That's the how you monitor yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you train. That is the big that is what the TQM says. The spontaneous result or one result doesn't give you anything until the trend shows that. So I started measuring. If I used to say 4 sorries a day, is it today 3? Or the day where we don't have any sorry day?
Yeah.
Uh, I used to feel so happy about it, and my colleagues used to say, "What happened? Why you're so happy?" And I said, I don't need to say sorry to anyone, because I responded where I did not do it." He said, "Hey, what you have done? Nothing great. It is a normal. You first you do error and then you say sorry, and today you say I have not said sorry." So basically, if you look at that, uh, the 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 perspective, because everybody has to do something, devise a method to improve, and the continuous improvement goes on. It's just not only the manufacturing; it's the human behavior, human approach, and once you start practicing it, so today you are happy, you did not do anything. So next day again you are happy, third day again you are happy, and that happiness will drive you left.
Wow.
And I'm sharing you, this is the toughest journey I have gone through, reaction to response.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And the best part is that last two responses which I quoted, that in 26 marks too.
Yeah.
The first one, I get a call from my superior. And he was not telling me that Rakesh, you did all this thing wrong. He was telling me, look, if this kind of things happens, how to
Okay.
and that's makes uh in that terms I have been gifted. I got many people, uh because if he says that, he starts judging me. You have done this wrong, you have said this thing, you have written this thing. The thought process goes in a very different direction. When you say, Ramesh, this is, do you feel this is good? No, I don't feel good. Is it possible to do better? Yes, definitely. So let me tell you what kind of in this kind of situation, what should we do? That way, basically you call it a guru in taking you in the right direction. Because ultimately life is most important. Uh, I am producing vaccine for what? The patient's life. You prevent a disease. And again, that is human lives. So your life is also very precious. And if you are happy, your family will be happy.
Yeah.
And if you are unhappy, your family will be unhappy. But it took little longer time. I started realizing it late, because in our culture, a response is the last word. First used to be react.
Mm.
Road race and other things. That is what, that is, I take it as a reaction.
Correct.
If they wish to respond, two guys get, both of the people think that, are we driving correctly, the right way? Where I am, okay, it got damaged. The next is the repair. Even if you fight, you broke the nose, you broke the leg, but what next for the car? It has to be repaired.
Yes.
It's going to workshop. So why can't you do it by shaking your hands? Look, I did it here. It's my things. Or I will take it. Or every car is insured. So I will use your insurance for my car repairing. I will not lose my bonus on my insurance premium. But it rarely happens.
Yeah.
We are more tuned to
Reach.
reaction than the response.
Yeah.
So that is what the thing is that. But it took more. I started late realizing it, but I'm happy other way around that Of course, some controls are there over the reacts. Finally.
That's really wonderful. I think let's now get back to your operational experience, but I think this is wonderful to have understanding about your leadership mantra, the way you have lead the whole teams. Now, on another hand, on operation side, when you handle such kind of manufacturing, right? Nowadays, cost is a big trouble. Right? Before, like a few years ago, Indian manpower or resource cost was low, so we used to have a good advantage over the other countries for manufacturing the vaccines or any kind of drugs. But today, that advantage has started vanishing. How I heard that you are one of the expert in this domain. So I wanted to understand about your philosophy. How you can do it.
Not exactly expert. Basically, I'm still learning, but I can say that uh, in an Indian system, I am born in India, brought up in India. Jugaad is the first preferred ethics. Uh, there was a bit of tussle, which Jugaad met the TPM, and finally TQM started leading it. And you can't implement TQM by your own unless your organization is willing to implement. There are many companies. Toyota is well known. There are a lot of Tata Motors and other things they are putting up TQM. The Seat is doing TQM.
Yeah.
But in a pharma domain, we are more driven by the regulations, FDA regulations, and we follow. But now the company started putting up uh, the last 10 years in operational excellence, a lot of efforts. The company name it in a different way, Lean Sigma Manufacturing. Some say Kaizen, some say operational excellence. Uh, there is a one difference. Uh, Initially, it used to be some URs are also be titled as a Kaizen. Yeah. But now that maturity is starting it, they are started following a process. And the major difference in the approach, the cause and effect principle. In TQM, you wish to eliminate the cause, and of course, the effect will always eliminate.
Right.
And the TQM principle is that eliminate the waste. So then, the waste is also a cost.
Yep. Of course.
So then you eliminate a lot of cost also, and all it put together, it's not a cost cutting. Cutting looks to be a little bit a bad word, and it is in my view also. It's driving a cost efficient manufacturing. Just for the discussion's sake, if a filling line working at purchased at 400 vials per minute speed, once you purchase 24 hours is with you. If I design a system where it operates only for 16 hours, and for that 16 hour, another 8 hours I am preparing for, then I will be getting a productive output for 16 hours only. But I design a system where I prepare for 24 hours. So my preparation time remains 8 hours. Run time goes to 24 hours. So per hour, the idle cost or the preparation time goes down. So we have to look into that. Because everyone, I am also an employee. I also want my job to continue. So is my colleague, so is my junior, so is my superior. So laying off is not an option. As a human, if you see as a human things, but you have to be in business also, and you have to be cost competitive. So we can drive the cost efficiency, following so many methods of the TQ in a whole also. But the whole, if you wish to achieve it, takes a little longer time, 7 to 8 years to give it the final the outcome. But if you wish to implement the part of the module, because it has got so many sections, so many modules, That's going to start giving you benefits in a much shorter span of time. The focus has to be in eliminating the cost. If I run a machine at 500 speed machine, if I run a machine at 400, straightforward, my design is that to lose 100 wires per minute. Now, census. While designing 400 on a 500 wire machine, there will be some costs. Can we look today those costs, eliminate those costs so that machine can run at 500? So your immediate gain is 100 watts, and that makes you a cost efficient.
I when you are saying this now, I'm recollecting a book called Gold from Track.
Yeah, that's a very things. I have read it. I have with me also. It's a fantastic.
It's absolutely fantastic. He talks about the blocker and the way you are talking about the cost and revise that gap, identify that and fixing that rather than laying off the people or and that's really wonderful.
The other way to look at it in the vaccine manufacturing, we take a lot of kappa. The kappa is the buzzword. Anything which deviates from the design process, you need to take a deviation, record a deviation, and then you start going for the corrective action and preventive action. Corrective action is immediately what you need to do.
Correct.
I can correlate with the automobile here. If you are driving and if your car is going left side, the corrective action is that immediately you turn it towards right at K, it gets corrected. But if you little bit leave it, again it will start going left. So you are not prevented it. The prevention will come with the wheel balancing, wheel alignment. That approach, it's already inbuilt into the pharmaceutical manufacturing by kappa. The only is that we are good at correcting CA. The PA we are little behind. Because PA you can't implement immediately. It takes a little time, it takes little technology, takes little experience, and little when I'm saying it, I have to contribute a little, but whole team has to contribute. So little, everyone has to contribute to make it, and that's to make it in the teamwork.
Correct. So in this all aspect, like how technology upgradation becomes important.
It's very important. Uh, it drives the result of the advantage to the multifold.
Correct.
It makes, suppose something you want to do in a paper records where technology is not there. You have to search and search and search that paper. And if you have to correct, you have to write whole page. I'm giving you a simple example. But in an electronic record, you have to just control and find. You reach that. And if you correct, select, delete, and correct. Period. So that's why your efforts with the similar effort or even lesser effort, the results goes multifold. Accessibility, it's very important. And accessibility is also some way connected to the knowledge.
Right.
If it's it, I can correlate. The- in India, doctors' handwriting is very well known. The only the computer can read it, or the pharmacist can read it. Nobody else.
Yeah.
So I was trying to read with one of the description of one of my known person that this meal drug is to be taken before meal or after meal. That was we were not able to read it out. Uh, the Google tried this drug name, how to take it.
Yeah.
And then that gives you, oh, this drug has to be taken before meal, this drug will be taken after meal. This drug, if you take it in the evening, that's much better. So again, what I am trying to say, how I am getting the knowledge is because of digitalization. Because of a technology which is a platform which is there, which is Google search, gives you so much of ability. So it's that kind of platform is within your organization where the technology is getting, it's going to give you The another aspect you look at that. Our production is a batch manufacturing. Every batch is to be every process is to be repeated, and you find one batch has really fantastic yield, high output. In a shorter span of time, it gets completed. Now, if everything manual, you have to find it all because not everything is written.
Yeah.
You have to go pillar to the post, ask everybody,
Correct.
and he may not recall
Correct.
that how the things are going about it,
Absolutely.
and that maybe something which he did, he feels quite normal,
Yeah.
but it is not recorded, and that gave you that kind of efficiency, cost efficiency, productivity.
Yeah.
And that's not getting recorded and so missed. Again, the variation is there. Variation means it is conforming to the specification, but if a limit is suppose somewhere x to y, it's falling within x to y. But if you feed y is the best, which you are received for that particular batch, it's very difficult to do it in a manual systems or the human based systems. But if you have a digital, and number of things gets recorded through that. So at least each and every input is recorded.
So data logging is important.
And an output is recorded, and then you can see, oh, that batch and this batch, between two batches, what is the variance?
Have you implemented Industry 4.2 techniques in batching model?
That's not at such as a industry 4.0, but many of that elements is already we are doing even before it is formally coined as a 4.0.
Yeah.
Say that in one of the workplace, because I worked with many company, for the discussion's sake, I'm not taking any of the association in board the company.
Yeah.
At a one place, the bearings used to old now very fast. Now we appreciate. So you have the downtime. Then we have a system that every 6 months we check the bearing. Last month only we checked. It should run another 6 months, but 7th month is old now. So the other way of TQM is to see is a detailed analysis of bearing.
Correct.
Right. What element of the bearing is causing this particular vector?
Right.
Now suppose that is designed with X material, which is wearing and tearing fast. You can go back to bearing manufacturing. Look, this is I have a problem. He may give you a n number of solutions because he is an expert of skate of bearings there. And if you start using, you say, okay, this not at this model, it will perform you better. We are using some another material in this model, use it, and your bearing start lasting for a year. And you don't need to check it and then remove it. It's something like that 1 year expiry. If you start changing that bearing every year, then it means you don't have a downtime. So you can predict your production. You can get highest output. And these are the small way to look at that. And in TQM, this is called total productive matrix.
Correct.
So you have to identify the life cycle of the component which is causing a breakdown or which is causing a variation, and just try to eliminate that cause.
And absolutely.
So it's a whole thing is DPM, total productive maintenance. It's a big domain.
Correct.
But somewhere we are not able to implement, but parts of it we can do it. It doesn't require any much of the things. Data, there are a lot of free data is available you can search for. There are a lot many companies name will prop up with a free data, which is looking for a customer. You are looking for the design of the bearing, and that's makes a big match.
Right.
Absolutely. Within internally also, we are in a very regulated industry.
Yeah.
And we say safety and quality is the license to operate. So we are being audited for the quality of the product very frequently. And what the regulator wants is the first thing is that availability of a data.
Agreed.
So again, there your digitalization is going to help. So it will bring the transparency. So they have a better trust on you. So when you speak something that it is something like this, if the trust is there because of transparency, they are more likely to believe your thought. Great. Your explanation. And rational.
Wonderful. I think we can talk for hours. I'm sure about it. But I think let me take towards the conclusion right now. I think as a manufacturing, what my final question would be: what are the upcoming trends you can foresee, which are coming in pharma manufacturing to it?
The excellence that is going to be drawing. Correct. Digitalization is it is a tool which is going to help us to excel or achieve operational excellence. Correct. The AI is a tool to know. I said that the one batch is meeting all the standard, giving me excellent result. The AI will able to give me what led to that excellent.
Data analytics.
So data analytics. Even is that. So basically is that how much you wish to use, where you wish to use. Earlier you may be feeling, oh, who will tell me? Now AI will tell you. Right. So that's kind of things. And another thing is that we have to be friendly to the new technology. Yeah. It's going to change much faster. So our learning ability has to increase. The adaptability to the change has to be there. That new guys are excellent guys. When I see that their knowledge is technology knowledge is much more. They try to take uh, the new guys. New guys means the people who are coming to industry now. Try to take help in learning or utilizing the technology. So make it teamwork. Many a times what happens is that though I am a superior, I don't know. There is some sort of guilt feeling. And that leads to obstruction of using the technology.
Agreed. Agreed.
We have to be very, as a superiors, we have to be very open. Oh, in our times, this technology was not there.
Yeah.
I have not practiced this technology. I have not learned this technology, and that's why I don't know. That's so. My colleague who is coming now from the colleges, they know this technology. So let's work as a team. So that's going to be the key. Learning, changing, but so many things are coming. The teamwork with the same aim, alignment, with the same objective is going to be the crux. And operational excellence is one of the way, and TQM solves all the problem. We are doing it bits and pieces, but if we starts doing as a whole,
Right.
so
I always remember the line of Steve Jobs: "Stay hungry, stay foolish." So you always need to be hungry for the knowledge, and don't need to tell that you are always smart. You need to be foolish to learn all these technologies. That's really wonderful. So Rakesh, thanks a lot for your time. I think it's amazing talking to you. I think this podcast is going to be loved by all the manufacturing guys and all the pharmacists who really wanted to learn. I think your approach was really wonderful, and I really love that part of reaction to respond wala part. I really love that. So thanks a lot for sharing this wisdom with us, and thanks for giving your time to us.
it's a great talking to you. Business, it's wonderful.
Pleasure. Thanks a lot. And that brings us to the end of a truly meaningful conversation with Mr. Sinha. Today, we didn't just hear about processes and products. We heard about principles, patience, and the quiet power of doing things the right way. It's rare to meet leaders who show that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent, steady, and deeply inspiring. So, thank you for listening to Voices of Pharma. If this conversation made you pause and reflect, do share it with your colleague or friend. Because leadership like this deserves to be heard, learned, and lived. Until the next time, keep leading, Keep inspired.